Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of Mid-Rank Madness, and today it is a Patreon edition between Raczack and Wartorn on Catallena, the latter edition. In the left side of the map, we have the Red Protoss player. It is Raczack. Let's settle on Raczack here. And in the top center-ish portion of the map, we have the blue Terran player, Wartorn. So a TDP in our week of PVTs here on the Falcon Paladin channel. Again, one of these players is a patron of mine for this level of $10 a month at patreon.com/FalconPaladin, which means I will cast one of their games every month for as long as they are a patron at that level. So bring it on. Bring on the replay. Bring on the cast. Should be a good one. This is a gold level replay sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com from my patron. Recognizing the deal, we're going to go ahead and cast this. It's a little late, but it is for September. So we're still within the month of September. I think we're going to be okay. And is this a 2-Rax opener from Wartorn? Is he going to go for a 3-Rax Reaper against this Protoss player? It doesn't seem very common to 3-Rax Reaper a Protoss player. Usually better against Zerg and Terran. But hey, this is gold level. Can do all sorts of crazy stuff and make it work. The thing is, you got to scout. So this SCV is moving out. It's a 4-player map, and so your opponent could be pretty much anywhere. Is it a 4-player or a 3-player? I'm trying to remember. I know you can spawn here. Can you spawn down this area? Maybe that's the spawn. Maybe it's a 3-player map, actually. Yeah, you know what? It is a 3-player map. I think this is the other place that you can spawn, because there's your natural and there's your ramp. Yeah, exactly. SCV heading down here. 3-player map for the Catallena probe scout as well, but going the correct direction to scout this guy. And actually, we're getting a tech lab on one of the barracks and a reactor on the other one. So not going to be a 3-Rax Reaper, but a double refinery is coming up here. So whatever our Terran player is planning on doing, it is going to be something that requires a lot of the Vespene gas. Double assimilator just now finishing up for Raczack back in Protossville. His Cyber Core just wrapping up here too at the natural base, and the SCV is going to scout this thing, but just too late. So in production, 3 Marines at a time, and a factory coming in here too. Probe scout is not going to be able to do much, unfortunately, as there's a full wall at the top of this ramp, and a Marine has popped to shove and shoo away this probe. Good reaction time from Raczack, actually. Not too shabby at all. A warp gate coming in for Raczack. He's getting himself a stalker. Now the question is, what is the higher tech gonna be? We're probably gonna see it here. Raczack is making another gateway. Wait, cancels the gateway, then throws down a gateway. He's just trying to confuse us to no end here. So Marine count is gonna be very heavy for Wartorn. I think he's planning on a bit of a Marine push. SCV doesn't quite scout. The additional gateway is coming down. Is this, I mean, you still need higher tech. I was gonna say, is this a charge lot rush? But you need a Twilight Council for that at the very least, although still nothing here. So pro tip for Raczack, you want to get your higher tech about this point. You don't want to keep making gateways. Gateway units are inherently terrible against Terran with Marines and Marauders, who are especially working on a combat shield and stim. And if they have medevacs, you can just say goodbye to your entire army. It's not going to work. So you got to have some kind of something. Blink Stalker possibly. Disruptors are good. Colossus are good. Oracles are going to be good too for the harassment. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can't just go on gateway or you're going to lose this thing. Long gone are the days when 4-gate was really good. And that's a forge. It's a forge from Raczack. All right. I mean, if he's going to try this thing with fully upgraded gateway units, I can't say I recommend this course of action. You really got to get to that tier 3 as soon as possible. And there's the Stargate. Okay, thank goodness for that. Making a Stargate. It's a little bit late. I don't really like seeing Void Rays and Oracles against Terran at this stage of the game, just because, again, the Marine count is super high, and there's medevac support here too. Stim being researched, and here we go. I think we're going to do a bit of a drop, and it's going to be early. It's about a 4-minute drop instead of a 5.5-minute drop, but it's only going to come with half of the units. Instead of 2 full medevacs, it's going to be 1. And there's a forward pylon coming up for Raczack just outside that cliff that is part of Wartorn's main base here. So he's planning on being aggressive with his units. Got some adepts, got some stalkers. It's not a whole lot of stuff, but photon overcharge can make up for a lot of problems, as well as some cannons back here at the main mineral line, defending against drops that may come up that way. It is going to be a Phoenix in production for Raczack, so Phoenix Adept is a reasonable strategy to use against Terran players, especially up through about the 11-minute mark. Past that point, you're pretty much dead. But if you can get it done, trying to come inside the main base, but this trifecta of cannons actually is going to make this very, very hard for Wartorn to get this drop off. Maybe the natural is a little bit more accommodating, but there's Photon Overcharge available here. Look out, Stalker 2 unloading. And in range of Photon Overcharge. Get out. Get out of there. No, don't attack the pylon. Yeah, that was really poorly located. But dropping here in the natural mineral line is a lot more lucrative. Goodbye all of the probes at this natural base. This Stalker's not even responding. He's visual contact, and he gets picked off by a Marine before everybody gets picked up and left. So one of the drops, an object failure, although did distract the Protoss player from this natural base. That's a lot of dead probes, by the way. 15 dead probes, but it's 25 to 22 harvesters. Raczack still has a lead, you guys. Still has the lead. Our Terran player does scout this pylon. Says, oh, there's a forward pylon here. What an oddity. Adept's going to try to sneak on up. There's no expansion for Wartorn yet. He really cut a lot of stuff to make that drop come as soon as it did, and Raczack was pretty ready for it. Just didn't respond as quickly to that natural base being under attack, but so far his worker count has been fairly amazing. Adept's trying to get up here inside the main base, but no, not going to happen. Sonic transferring their way off of the ramp, and against the Marines they're going to do okay, but only 2 of the Adepts, there we go, scouting and providing vision, but the Marines have the high ground, they have combat shield, and they have stim, so those Adepts shouldn't be able to get up there, especially, again, with the wall. Got some idle probes here. Are you rallying? Oh, no. Raczack is rallying his probes to the front of his natural. No, 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 no. Rally them back here. This is no good. This is no good. You know they're here. You just moved one of the probes to go take a third base. I assume that's what you're doing. Not that you have enough money for it, mind you, but regardless. All right, so the probes are back to work, and the Adepts are coming back home. There's an Oracle in production, but it's a late Oracle. It is a super late Oracle. Do we want to give it a name? Seems like maybe we do. I don't know. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's pull up the Oracle name list. Unless this Oracle doesn't do anything, in which case we're not going to name it. So you got to move. You got to move Raczack's Oracle. Okay, got it. Got it. Got it ready to go, but I don't think this Oracle is going anywhere. Raczack sent out a probe to throw up a third base, but didn't save up enough minerals to get it, which seems like an obstacle. And again, this is really just gateway unit stuff here. How many Phoenix were actually made? One Phoenix, 1 Oracle, and all gateway units. Meanwhile, Wartorn double expanding in his natural base and his third base location. Feeling pretty brave to do this. If the Protoss player moves out, he's going to have a hard time holding it for sure. This one tank is probably not going to be able enough to hold it. Got some Liberators, though, moving out. Got a tank. Got some Marines sneaking on down. And there's that third base from Raczack. Just north of his natural is where his third is going to be. Wartorn's is kind of down this cliff from the main. Also a fairly traditional spot. All right, where'd the Oracle go? Oh, here's the Oracle. All right, so Oracle's murdering stuff. This is working out fairly well for her, actually. So this Oracle's name is Razima. This Oracle's Stasis Ward targets can be attacked and casted upon just because. I'm not sure we're going to see a Stasis Ward here as the Viking chases her away, but she got 5 kills, which is pretty amazing. 42 to 29 total harvesters. Raczack has an amazing lead in worker count, but army value is going to favor our Terran player. Actually, no. Raczack has more value, 2,400 compared to 2,100. However, if they're not doing anything, they're not that great. So Liberators setting up defender mode circles. Oracle joining the party here. Could throw down a pulsar beam to assist with this, but where are you going? Come back, Oracle. Tanks are firing, trying to lift the tanks with the Phoenix. There are 2 Phoenix now, and the lift is helping immensely here. Wow, this army's getting cleaned up. Photon Overcharge. Adept's doing a great job here, too. They don't have Resonating Blades, but it doesn't really matter. Liberator really hacking away at everything inside that circle. 7 kills, but the Phoenix get rid of it. And 1 medevac limps home very, very sadly. Raczack managed to throw a pylon up back here, which is visible to Wartorn, mind you. He sees it. He's not just not doing anything to respond to it. Dude, just put a cannon here. Why not? If he just sees it, you can cancel it. I mean, at this point, it's a gold level game. Might as well see what you can get away with. That would be my recommendation. Anyway, missile turret coming up for Wartorn. 3 missile turrets at his natural base. He is worried about that Oracle coming back in, and for good reason, as she is lurking just south of this natural base. Photon Cannons coming up at Raczack's third base. 46 to 37 Harvester, still maintaining that lead as our Protoss player, but I think we need more than Stargate. And if you're going Stargate, you need more than Phoenix right now. We're coming up on that 11-minute mark where the upgrades are really going to help the Terran player. Is he working on anything with the engineering bay? No, actually, he has an engineering bay. He's just using it for missile turrets, though. Probably over-making them a little bit, but at this level, where your response time and your micro is not that good, it's a rough deal. This probe hiding behind the natural base does get picked off. Marines trying to get rid of this pylon. One Marine firing, one Hellion firing. We'll get there. We'll get that pylon eventually, is the concept. All right, so the army of Raczack, a lot of Phoenix. He knows what he's trying to do here, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough in the grand scheme of things. Another Forge on the way, getting those upgrades. Working on shields first, which is, I mean, I guess if you have a lot of Phoenix, having the shield upgrade, which does stack across ground units and air units, would not be a bad thing. Wouldn't be too much of a terrible thing, but I don't know. You just don't see it a whole lot at the pro level, which leads me to believe it's a bad idea. Just get +1. Just get +1 attack for your ground units. You have enough of them, where the upgrades are definitely going to help. Put a mine production here for Wartorn. And both players just kind of sitting on 3 bases. Wartorn's third is a planetary fortress, as is tradition. I do like that decision from him. And double pumping Vikings here, which, hey, Vikings are fantastic against Phoenix. They really have good range. They hit hard. Phoenix don't do extra damage versus them because Vikings are not considered light units. And so far, so good. All right, Fleet Beacon from Raczack and a Dark Shrine from Raczack. Okay, let's get this thing going. If we get carriers, I'm on board, although that Viking count is already pretty high. There are 5 of them. He's still making Vikings, which are kind of a beautiful counter to carriers. Marines also pretty good counter to carriers, as you're gonna, well, I don't know, as you're gonna see in any PvT where carriers show up, I believe. You're gonna see a lot of Marines in general at the high level. Anyway, 57 and 56 Harvesters. Wartorn has caught up in the economy. And a 4th base on the way from Raczack. Again, just down the cliff from his main base. Continuing this Phoenix production. He's got 9 of them, and I don't know. I can't shake the feeling this is not a great life choice. The longer your Phoenix Adept strategy takes to work, the worse it's going to be. So here we go. Vikings, Liberators. Everything's been revealed by the Revelation spell from our Oracle. Who is still alive, or is she dead? She totally dead, but she got a revelation down before she died, so that's good. At least she used it in one of her other spells besides Pulsar Beam. Besides the Pulsar Beam, Raczack setting up to defend this 4th base of his, and Wartorn's moved out, but kind of gotten stuck. He's a little indecisive about where he wants to go. Another command center coming up for Wartorn.
Ready to plunder.
Ready to plunder. And he doesn't know about this 4th base, which is a bit of a problem. You want to know about all the bases that your opponents have, just for the sake of being able to attack, perhaps, if you overextend a little bit, that sort of thing. Marauder production has begun. He's queuing up a lot of them at this barracks, which is not something I'm a huge fan of, but at least it's not fully queued up at a total of 5. Anything less than that is going to be okay. Wartorn trying to sneak on up to this 3rd base. Does he know about the 3rd base? He doesn't know about the 3rd base either. He has to assume about the 3rd base, right? Like, there's no way he thinks there's not a 3rd base here. Pretty sure that's the case. Army for Raczack coming back, though. No, leave me alone, he says. And here we go. Liberators, Vikings setting up stops from Hellions and Marauders on the ground. Some Widowmines mixed in here, too. Oh, and the DTs. Widowmines firing on these Phoenix. Did you bring detection? You don't have a robotics facility, do you? You do not. These Widowmines are going to cause massive problems. Massive, humongous problems here. All right, so we're Phoenix Zealot. Holy sentries. That's 10 sentries. Can he take down this planetary fortress with this? I don't know that he can, especially with all the detection. All the missile turrets are great against both the Dark Templar and the Phoenix here, so he's going to pull on back. He's just going to pull on back. No big deal. Army for Wartorn here along this right side, taking a 4th base, protecting it too, but 4th base by Raczack is already up. So it is only 62 to 59 harvesters and nukes in production. Alrighty then. Nukes on the way from Wartorn. He's getting cloak for his ghosts and he's getting nukes. So we might see some showing up here sooner rather than later, which I'm always a fan of. Definitely a fan of the nukes, and I have to imagine you guys are as well. Archon's coming in for Raczack, so he's not using the Templar for Storm, which I feel like is a mistake, but Archons are pretty good in their own way. Plus, they can hit air units, and there's a lot of Vikings here that do tend to clump together, and splash damage is pretty great. But our nukes are finishing up, so we're going to have some ghosts ready to go with these nukes. And is it time is the question of the day. Wartorn just kind of hanging out, dancing back and forth. Ghosts have joined the party. And is he making another one? He's going for 3 nukes. For 3 nukes. Ladies and gentlemen, he's sending his Widow Mines on up here too, which should be all right. Burrowing themselves in places where they hope the Protoss player will just kind of walk right on into it. We'll see. We'll see if it works out or not. The army for Wartorn heading down south. I'm not quite exactly sure what they're doing. Maybe trying to expand down that direction, but the nuke count is currently 2 with a 3rd one on the way. If we don't see some good nukes, I'm going to be sorely disappointed. All right, this 4th base has a mothership at it. So that's what the Fleet Beacon was used for this mothership. But no carrier production, just some Void Rays and those Phoenix. And Iron Pulse Crystals on the way, increasing the range of the Phoenix, which is useful. Getting charged for his Zealots too, also pretty good. So some good choices being made by Raczack the last couple of minutes. And Wartorn with his eclectic group of Liberator, Viking, Marine, Hellion. Raczack trying to scout out a potential 5th base location at 17 minutes because, hey, the Terran players left me alone for this long. Might as well expand again. And this cloaking thing's going to be pretty darn good. And here we go. The ghosts are trying to come up and get some nukes, but no, every one of them die. Oh, no. They got scouted by the photon cannon and the detection here. They couldn't see the cannons. Wait, couldn't see anything because of the cloak. Oh, that hurt. That all 4 of those ghosts ended up getting killed there. I think they got an EMP off. Some of these units might have lowered shields. No, I thought I saw one there, but maybe not. Ow, that hurts. And Wartorn decides it is time to retreat. He does not like his ghost getting murdered like that. Is he going to replace them? Are we not going to see any nukes? He's got 3. He still has 3 of them, but everybody going home. Very worried. He's got a Raven for detection. Smart job. Is that recalibrated explosives, increasing the damage done by auto turrets and secret missiles. So he is planning on doing some Raven shenanigans. He's got another one on the way, getting high-sec auto tracking. He does have enough missile turrets and planetary fortresses to make this thing worth it. High-sec auto tracking, a good upgrade to get. Resonating glaives finally on the way for Raczack. I would recommend getting that upgrade a little bit sooner than the 18-minute mark, but you know what? Better late than never is what I always say. Observers are finally out for Raczack. He can see these Widow Mines and possibly come take them out if he feels like it. Although part of me is just wondering if he doesn't feel like it. Wartorn's working on a 5th base down this right side. Widow Mines running away from this army of Raczack. And Raczack decides he's going to force the issue. Trying to lift these Widow Mines and kill them, but all 3 Phoenix left, and none of them are left to kill, which is an obstacle. And we're going to meet right here in the middle, it looks like. We are setting up for one heck of a showdown between our Terran player Wartorn and Raczack, the Protoss player. The Widow Mines, are they going to... Yep, one of them. 2 of them do end up firing. 3 of them end up firing here. More huge Widow Mine shots, just weakening everything. And Archon actually does get killed, flying into this planetary fortress. No, Mothership's not protecting this ground army whatsoever. No, the split's not looking good at all. A Hunter Seeker, rather just Seeker Missile on top of his Sentry, and that was a shellacking. Ladies and gentlemen, Raczack went to 92 supply in about 36 seconds, walking over Widow Mines, splitting his Phoenix to get killed by these missile turrets. the mothership gets separated from everything else. The Vikings take it down very easily, and the remainder of the units get destroyed by a pretty solid army of +2/+2 Marines and Marauders. That control. This is why control is important, you guys. In these battles, this is why these players are gold. All right, so this is basically A moving into this third base of Raczack. Raczack has a 5th base coming up down south here, but it's having an army enough to deal with this thing. Some Zealots and Stalkers trying to come up this ramp, but that is not a good ramp. That is a ramp of death. You do not want to go up there by any stretch. Third base is gone. 195 to 87 total supply. Raczack's going to try to come up this ramp anyway and just meet with his doom. And that's it. Raczack with a rage quit. Wartorn is victorious. And our Terran player wins the game today. We didn't get to see any nukes, did we? We did not get to see any nukes. Ah, that darn mothership cloaking this base led to the death of those ghosts. Raczack was trying. He was trying to toss some nukes down, just got thwarted by cloak. How ironic that a ghost would be thwarted by cloak. But good job. Good job winning that final battle for Wartorn. I mean, really, all he had to do was keep his army close. Right? Keep them kind of clumped up. Focus down the mothership over here. Let the missile turrets do their thing. And then just kind of A-move from that point. Walking over these widow mines was just painful, too. Raczack knew they were there. He had detection. Just apparently didn't care. So, Mima. All right, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another Patreon edition of MidRank Madness. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of your...
Ascension is before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. Justice. Our duty is unending. I feel your presence. We are as one. Sense of soul, a soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Inshallah, adieu. Ascension is before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. I sense a soul, a soul in search of the answers. May the gods gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. Search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. I sense a soul. In search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. Kalarulas. Naslaranus, Naslaran, Kinalatu. Casar di Templare, Daramarga. Shara Sashina.